this morning, we, as I said, had a wonderful celebratory girls' night last night. I remember looking at the clock, maybe 2:38, 2:45. Woke up at 6 o'clock to a 9-pound toy poodle with ears like ponytails sitting on my chest, licking my face, with a Portuguese water dog beside me, looking at me. I looked at the clock and said, heck no. Turned over, went back to sleep. Woke up an hour later, same positions, same tongues, same face. At that point, I gave up. I'm just saying, every time I tried to say no, I got a tongue in the mouth. I got up. So that was my morning, and that's the story about waking up with dogs, especially when you've had very little sleep. Where I would like to go with this talk: enjoying and embracing the moments in life. Taking, those snippets. When you think about how tough a moment might be, would we appreciate those moments even more? And especially to my students, I have been tough on you, but when you served, how great was that 5 minutes, that 7 minutes? It was huge. Like, it seemed like longer than that. And you worked to get to that point, standing in front of all those people, and you embraced the moment. The track we played for meditation, I don't know if you've all heard the Tibetan monks chat. And if any of you want a copy of this recording, message me, and I will send you a copy or a link to my Google link to this if you want it. I spent the last morning, the monks were here with them. The monks are, they are just beyond phenomenal. When you're in the room, when they do this chant, the energy, and Randy can attest to this, you literally feel it go through your body. I am not exaggerating. It's not even a true description of it. It is there's no physical words to explain the energetic experience, excuse me, of being in a room, whole side all full of monks, and each monk's voice has a different tone and different breathing techniques. So when one's taking a breath, the other one is taking a breath. It's like they're breathing for each other. Do you see where I'm going with this? They're holding each other up energetically. They're holding each other up in their breath. One breathes for the other, back and forth, and it creates that music. And when you listen to it, you forget there's no instruments other than the horn and a drum, only at certain times. There are no instruments. They make their own music. They make their own music. They breathe for each other. They do in the moment. They don't think about yesterday. They don't think about the next day or even that afternoon. What they do is they have somebody, it's basically their control person, their coordinator and representative. The monks simply be. They meditate. They do the mandalas. I have a video somewhere. I'm going to post some things on our website this week. I have videos of them creating the sand mandala and them walking down the streets in Lilydale, and they always choose our street. And they chose garbage day one day as they were going down, and our garbage was out front, and as they're going by, they bless every house. No one is refused a blessing. How spiritualist is that? Letting your guard down, and no matter how much somebody upsets you, send them blessings, send them healings, send them love. Even if you don't, quote unquote, like them. It's the highest form of love you can give, is give them your blessing as you send them on their way. And you know, anybody that's in that circumstance, there's a reason why they're having a hard time. We don't know what everything they've been through. So despite that you get along with them, not everybody's going to like you, but they're still a human being. Send them healing. We hold each other up, just like the monks. Those men are brought in as young boys from families who cannot afford to feed them, from families that can't afford to clothe them or educate them. And the monks, whether they have sponsors for them or not, raise them. They end up with an education that is so well recognized, they qualify for universities, all taught by monks. They learn languages, they learn everything. These men don't just wear saris or robes. They walk the walk. They don't talk. They walk the walk. They be. And every human being they walk by, whether you see them do it or not, they're blessing you. Now, the other thing, excuse me, I was there for the closing ceremony. And at closing ceremony, they have been working for a whole week on this big table, sand mandala, all the different colors. And they have these things that look like straws with a spoon, sort of like your slushy scoops. How many have been hitting in on slushies lately? And they put the sand in, and they're this far away from the mandala. They're putting their energy on the sand as they tap all the colors and the different grains of sand with their intention on every single tap. They are there now. They are not there 5 minutes ago. They are not there 5 minutes from now. They're in the moment, and they're all side by side, supporting each other. They may chant, as you heard, but they're all interconnected. It's phenomenal just to be around them, even when they're not chanting. And at the end of the ceremony, when I went in, I spent the morning with them, and I meditated through that chant that you listen to. It's quite long, and I meditated the whole time. I was quite sick when I went, excuse me, and I went with the intention of healing. And that's a whole other lecture. But what they then did was they each took turns going around. One person started making lines. Another person put blue orchids, blue. I have never seen blue orchids. They put blue orchids in the petals in the middle. Then another one took a brush and was going clockwise around the 4 sides of the table. The mandala is in a square, but they go around clockwise and sweep it almost like a swirl into the center. And they chant while they're doing this. A lot of people are meditating. I was still meditating every now and then, open one eye and then go back into my meditation. Excuse me. Then they have a plant. And this plant, the orchid, has water in the bottom, a container. They sweep up with ceremony and song, the sand, and everybody that's been there that morning gets a little bit of the sand to take home to sprinkle on their property. And it's been blessed. Then you follow them out, and all these pictures will be on the website. They take this massive, Randy, how long would you say that horn is, the 2 horns? About what, 9 feet? Can't hear you, your sound is off.
10 to 12 feet probably.
Okay, they have one person at the front, hold it up, while the monk is at the back blowing it while he's walking, and the others are chanting. So it all becomes one. And they move on. Go down to the lake. It has to be an open body of water. And they slowly let the sand go. Now, one may think all that work gone. Absolutely not. It's mega powerful because they take the sand, a whole week of prayer, a whole week of doing this side by side, literally all day. And they brought all that prayer together by brushing it together into one existing energy that they share with everybody that's going to walk with them. And that is then released to the water to spread out to the universe and the earth to heal it. They take the water from the orchid and put it in after the sand, and they start blowing the horns on the dock. And at the end, I have to say, he tips his hat, does this. This reminds me so much of spiritualism. You know, I've been doing a lot of thinking as a minister. We say the brotherhood of man. I like the familyhood of humankind. They say we are responsible for our own reality through thoughts, words, and deeds. And actions create results according to natural law. I think they nailed it. We don't have to become monks to live in their inspiration, but we can surely take a page out of their notebook, and I'm sure they would be happy to share. Embrace. I encourage you, there's somebody I follow on YouTube, and it's a Tibetan monk who was a regular civilian, did the partying, did the clubs, did everything. Something happened in his life and he decided to give it all up and become a monk. And he lived the life of a monk, and he started doing YouTube. He gives YouTube lessons, one on example, just how to journal. Another one, just how to meditate, how to have a morning routine, how to have an evening routine, how to eat mindfully. Don't just, oh, that's great. Can I have seconds? No, every bite is mindful. Every single bite, every sip, every breath in between is mindful. We can really take a note out of their book. I highly recommend, if any of you are interested in living a more spiritual life, they are an awesome, even though they're Buddhist, I feel they're very, very good examples for non-denominational spiritual living. It's not the religion, it's the being. Being in the moment, being present, and being, but everyone is part of this. All connected. And no matter how much you may like or not like your neighbor, most of us have had COVID. And when they do, despite how much you may like or dislike them, I'm sure they can use a container of soup. I'm sure they can use a dozen eggs. That's probably all they can eat. But all I'm saying, you don't have to go out of your way. But simple kindness, simple care, simple love for humankind, for our familyhood. And that's how we hold each other up. I will leave that with you today. I will be very busy posting things on the website because it has been, I run away from home every summer and spend my summer in Lilydale until September. And I love giving lectures during the summer because of all the different experiences. I may be even doing some tours in Lilydale for any of you that have not been here, and I may post them on our website, like little YouTube clips, but make them for our website. No, take you to the stump and I'll take you to the healing temple, and I'll do that for you. But I'd love to share my summer with you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Reverend Tammarishka.